Hello everyone, happy birthday of Mother Mary. Today our topic is on being spiritually alert, and our reflection is taken from the parable of the 10 virgins, which we find in the Gospels in Matthew chapter 25, verse 1 to 13. This parable is about God's kingdom. Let's hear the parable. 10 virgins or wedding attendants were invited for a magic feast. 5 of them were wise and 5 of them were foolish. The wise ones took extra supply of oil with them, and the foolish ones did not. The bridegroom was late in coming, and so they all felt drowsy and fell asleep. Suddenly at midnight there was a cry, "Behold, the bridegroom is coming, go out to meet him." At once all the maids took their lamps, and then the foolish ones saw their lamps were going out. They asked the wise one, "Give us some of your oil." Wise one said, "We're not able to give you because there may not be enough for you and for us." The bridegroom arrived soon, and those who were ready went in with him to the banquet, and then the door was shut. Meanwhile, the foolish virgins went to the market to buy oil. They came late, and they came knocking at the door, asking, "Lord, Lord, open to us." And the bridegroom said from inside, "I do not know you," and the door was kept firmly closed. The lesson given at the end of the parable is for us all to be alert. Some years ago, when I was a school principal in a school, 9th standard exams were going on, and a boy from 9th standard came for the exam in the afternoon. His exams were over in the morning. I asked him why he missed the morning exams. He made some alibis, some excuses. Finally, he tumbled out the truth that he was watching a cricket match. From that day onwards, I stopped watching cricket matches. The kingdom of heaven in this parable is compared to a wedding banquet. And the wedding imagery symbolizing heaven is quite common in the Old Testament and New Testament. Jesus himself begins his public ministry by working the miracle of changing water into wine at Cana, the wedding at Cana. Apart from this parable, in another parable of the king's son's wedding, the servants of the king go out into the highways and byways to fill the empty seats at the banquet. Then the king comes into the banquet hall. He finds a man without the wedding garment, which was breaking of the custom of those days, and he ordered him out. Let's come back to the story. These 10 bridesmaids were chosen by the bride. They were her very close friends. It was a great honor for them to be bridesmaids. At the same time, a responsibility to be ready to greet the bridegroom and welcome him. According to the custom of those days, the marriage could take place any time in the night, any time after dusk. At dusk, the lamps would be lit, and they would be ready for the arrival of the bridegroom. In this case, the bridegroom came around midnight, and the girls who were asleep, they got up, and those who were ready with the oil lamps burning went in, and the others were kept out. Now, going to the interpretation of the parable, there are some who find fault with the wise virgins for not sharing their oil with the foolish ones. Some others find fault with the bridegroom for coming late, and then the hard heart keeping out the foolish virgins out of the banquet. Some go to the extent of saying that the wise virgins were rich and the foolish virgins were poor. If you can show me any evidence for that in the parable, I would be grateful. Now let's come to the question, why did and why could the wise virgin not share their oil with the foolish ones? Well, in life there are certain things which are very personal. You can't share. According to the fathers of the church, the oil here symbolizes sanctifying grace. Your friendship with God. This is something personal you can't share with others. If you are writing an exam, you can't share your answers with your neighbor. You go for a job interview. Can you take your friend's certificate for the job interview and attend the interview? You cannot. You cannot also say to God, my brother is a priest. We have a nun in the family, or our village has a bishop, so I must be given admission to heaven. Lord will say, I do not know you, I do not know where you come from. And the second point is about going to buy oil at midnight. What shops will be open at midnight, especially in ancient days? There's no chance of getting oil at midnight. You're going on a wild goose hunt. And then you come late for the banquet, naturally the door is closed. This symbolizes accepting privilege without responsibility. Shirking responsibility but ready for the privilege. We are all inclined to do so. And being in the marketplace when you should be ready to receive the bridegroom with the burning lamps, it's a symbolic of a worldly life, distracted life, a life of dissipation. Instead of being ready to meet the Lord at your death, you are still busy with worldly things. And when you knock at the door will be closed. Dear friends, let's take care that we are not found in the marketplace when the Lord Jesus comes to us to call us to share in His heavenly banquet.